Hello, this is Tim from Two Blokes from Blighty, and before we get into today's episode, we're going to hear a message from our friend, lovely Dan from Casting Views, over on the Podpack Collective. Take it away,
Ooh.
Dan.
He's so lovely.
Fancy taking a humorous trip down a random topic each week? You do? Well, you're in luck. Casting Views, presented by me, Dan, and a host of guests, bring you just that. With topics from the world of entertainment, science, sport, and everyday life, there's bound to be a topic that's going to inform and amuse. Catch Casting Views every Sunday on all listening platforms now.
So she's got a giant cock and balls on the front, so they painted it like a snake with eggs. She's like thrown out of a moving car in a bag.
Is this what Slade feels like on the mainline episodes? He's a busy man and an even busier washing machine. James Corden being a twat and shit at singing in CGI. Kingslayer destroying castles in the sky. Kingslayer, forevermore the apple of my eye. You are listening to Two Blokes from Blighty. My name is Joey Fitzgerald, and I am joined by the ever green Tim Fitzgerald. How are you, Tim?
I'm feeling blue. I'm wearing all blue today.
Well, I looked outside and saw a tree, so I went with green. I think the idea was to go evergreen, but you know, the pause in between made it sound silly. Anyway, Tim, how are you doing?
Yeah, not so bad. How are you?
I am A-okay, buddy. We're doing this on a Friday. It's been a long week, Tim.
That's been a long week.
Why has it felt so long? We had a bank holiday on Monday. What's going on?
Well, I work the bank holiday, so I just didn't get the day off.
Rip.
Yeah, big rip. And also, I think it's just getting hotter, which is, you know, adding to like work stress.
It's a hard life, isn't it?
It's a very hard life. Pub quiz question of the week. That's not a jingle. That's a sound effect at best.
What we have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
Pub quiz question of the week. What is the name of Mackenzie Crook's characters from the sitcom The Office?
It's the English version of Dwight, isn't it?
But what's he called?
Oh, I can't remember.
All right, well, we'll come back to that at the end of the episode.
Can we talk about The Office really quickly, Tim?
US or UK?
Both.
Sure.
Which is better?
I don't think it's fair to compare them outside of the first season of the American Office.
Well, wait, you think the American Office did the first season better?
No, I don't think it's fair to compare them outside the first season.
Okay.
I think the Office, the US Office, after season 2, just became a totally different beast.
Yes, and a better beast.
Yeah, I love the US Office so much. It's
what do you think of the UK one?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I think the UK one is, in the first 2 seasons, is ultimately funnier than the US one. And I didn't think that until I worked in an office. But the second that I had a David Brent,
yeah,
I understood how funny that character is.
Yeah, that, and I think that's kind of the humor of The Office, is you'll kind of see the people you work with there. Like
Yeah.
you'll have a Michael Scott or a Dwight Schrute or a Jim Halpert. It's
Well, I don't know if I agree that you do, because that's where the American office differs. It's a caricature of those characters, whereas in the
yeah,
UK office, it's quite true to the kind of people that you would actually have, which is why it's so much toned down compared to the UK one, the US one. Sorry,
Hmm.
I think if you're looking at an office based sitcom, the UK is funnier. But if you're looking at a sitcom as a whole, the US is hands down much better.
Yeah, in terms of being, like you said, just being a situational comedy, then yeah, the US Office is probably better.
Have you seen the David Brent movie?
I didn't know there was a movie.
Oh my god, Tim, that's our next movie. I'm spoiling that now. It is so funny.
I mean, I'll probably need to sit down and watch The Office again.
That's okay. You don't have to really. You know who David Brent is, right?
I do, yeah, it's Ricky
Yeah,
Gervais.
yeah. You don't need anything. If as long as you know who the character is, you're good to go on the film.
All right, fair enough.
So yeah,
But I'm much more of a US Office fan.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
tell me after you've seen the David Brent movie, Life on the
All right.
Road.
Will do.
Okay.
Remember the
cool.
Max and Paddy? Did they have a movie or was it just a TV show?
TV show, Max and Paddy.
Yeah,
That's a spin off of Phoenix Nights.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
What was better, Phoenix Nights or Max and Paddy?
I mean, it's got to be Phoenix Nights, right?
Phoenix. I still quote Phoenix Nights almost on a daily basis.
There are just like there's some classic timeless moments in Phoenix Nights where they're having the big reopening and they hire the bouncy castle and they accidentally hire it from like an erotic party hire thing. They've just got a giant cock and balls on the front, so they paint it to look like a snake with eggs.
No, they put they tie it down
That's
and
what it
stick
is.
eyes on the front of it, and he goes, "It's Sammy Snake," and then halfway through, and the kids are playing with it, the ropes
comes
break,
loose.
and it's just a massive erect dick.
And like they turn like the climbing area just like into scaffolding in the toilets.
Yeah, it's good. But I think the joy of Phoenix Nights, and I think Phoenix Nights might be Peter Kay's best work, personally. But there's all these tiny jokes that you can, like, if you blinked, you'd miss them. And my favorite one, there's a long running joke that one of the characters is worried that he's got cancer, and they end up doing it like a talent show, and he's comparing it. And he gets the results of his test whilst he's on stage. So they stick it in an envelope. So he has to announce it on stage, and it's a golden envelope. And one of the audience members goes, "Oh, golden envelope. Must be Booper."
Just a really weird little joke.
For those of you who don't know, Booper is private healthcare here in the UK, which you pay a lot for. So
Yeah,
golden envelope must be Booper. Fantastic.
great joke.
Yeah.
The one that
there's a
gets
lot,
me is when the fire marshal's visiting Keith Laird.
Keith Lard.
Keith Lard, sorry.
Yes.
Let's avoid liability. Keith Lard is visiting, and he's like, I received an email from a friend of mine in America, fellow fire marshal, and he gave me this horrific tale of a building that caught ablaze unexpectedly, and it's just the lyrics to Disco Inferno.
Good. It's very good. Yeah, the whole thing is brilliant. And I
It's
think
phenomenal.
the fact that they all have that Chorley accent adds to it massively.
There's just something about Northerners. They've got a cracking sense of humor in a way with words.
Yeah. I agree. Tim, we've gone well off track here. What day of the week is this coming out? I think it's June the 5th. Yeah, June the 5th is coming out.
Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday. Wednesday.
Right, it's Wednesday, my dudes.
Wednesday, my dudes.
Tim, we got some cracking Wednesdays for you.
You did say right before we were recording we got some good choices this week.
I think you'll struggle for a few of these.
Oh,
so
yeah?
we'll start with Global Running Day.
I think running is for psychopaths. So
Okay,
not that.
No, that's biking is for psychopaths, Tim.
Well done.
You see, the joke section came early. And next is National Gingerbread Day.
I do like gingerbread.
Yep. Next one I think might win it. National Moonshine Day.
Oh, have you ever had moonshine?
No, but I
Oh,
imagine it's like drinking petrol.
it's like paint thinner.
Mm.
I can remember working in Pennsylvania. We were staying in this town called Pointel, which had a post office, a bar, a fire station, 3 houses, and the campsite we were working on, and that was about
Mhm.
it. So when we came back from the bar, I was walking with my Welsh friend Anthony, and all I hear from behind us is, "Oh, he's Welsh. He'll drink anything." And I'm thinking, "Fucking hell, what is this?" Turn around, 2 guys sat on like the bonnet of a pickup truck or the hood of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Um,
The
and we
hood.
drank moonshine with them, and I felt like I was going to go blind.
Mm. Oh, that's good. Then it's National Veggie Burger Day.
Depending on the veggie burger, that could be good.
You were vegetarian for a long time?
I was 19 years, but if it's a Linda McCartney joint, forget about it. Get it out of here.
Oh. Do you want to tell people why you were veggie?
I thought I would catch foot and mouth disease from cows, so I stopped eating meat altogether for about 20 years.
I still remember the day you decided, and Grandma Annie, our grandma, was this tiny little Irish lady, but her trait was to feed. She was the definition of a feeder.
That's just all old Irish.
Irish. I think it's all Irish people. And then when you told her, she was like absolutely incensed. There's no way you're not eating meat. You need to get meat in you, blah, blah, blah. She called Mum, thinking that you were taking the piss. And Mum had to confirm. And then from that day onwards, Tim had a fried egg on top of every single meal that he had with Grandma.
Every single one. To the
For
point
20
that when
years.
we'd go out for dinner with her,
Yep.
she would nudge the waiter and just be like, "Can you pop a fried egg on it?" It was like a punchline.
I remember her going into the kitchen of a pub in Digbeth and
Yeah.
asking the chef himself if he could pop a fried egg on top of your roast dinner, I think it was. Vegetarian roast dinner. So National Veggie Burger Day. We've got National Start Over Day.
Wasn't like making a new starting again, or
Yeah, just start something from scratch, accept failure on something and start something again.
I think that's
Like
admirable.
fresh beginning, yeah. And then
I think
National
that's admirable.
Ketchup Day.
Oh, I mean, ketchup day clearly trumps that. No,
Ketchup beats starting anew.
I am gonna go with. I am gonna go with starting over day, right?
Okay.
And this is gonna be
And you're
very
going to ask
specific.
the audience to listen to every one of our episodes again.
Well, I wasn't, but now I am. There we go.
I'm joking. Only Dan, lovely Dan from Casting Views, has done that, and I think you might be slightly mental for it.
No, I'm going to ask the audience if there's something that you're working on, and you know it's not going well, just drop it, or tell people about when you have dropped a project.
This isn't just National Drop It Day. You meant to
No,
start,
like start
over.
over. Yeah, but like I think it could be good to get people who have done that, who have started over on a project, even though they've put a lot of time in, to tell how what that was like for them. We're being an inspirational
But
motivation.
it's the way that you said it. I want people who are doing a project to just drop it.
Just drop it. Everyone, stop what you're doing.
My favorite quote, Tim, and you'll probably recognize this, but it's a serious quote. Is try again, fail better, and it means you can accept failure as long as the next time you try it, you progress a little bit, and the next time you progress a little bit. So you try again, you fail again, but you fail better than the first time you tried.
My favorite quote is always make sure you salt your pasta before you boil it.
Do you know where my quote is from?
No.
It's a guy called Beckett, and they named the university I went to Leeds Beckett after Samuel Beckett. Where I got the quote from is an Enish Kari song, and I have quoted that in interviews before. And it went over quite well, I think. So, happy National Start Over Day, Tim.
There you go, National Start Over Day.
Tim, can we rip the Band-Aid off? I want to talk about the worst thing I did this week.
Yeah, go for it.
Shit movie.
Movies.
No, shit movie.
I know you normally get me to talk about the movies, but I would like you to talk about the movie this week.
I don't want to talk about it. The time I spent watching this film was enough of my week wasted on fucking cats. The live action. James, I'm so angry about it. I've forgotten his fucking name. James Corden being a twat and shit at singing in CGI. Wankfest that was awful from start to finish. Do you know what the worst thing about this was, Tim? And
What's
it was
that?
about a minute section of it. When they introduced Rebel Wilson's character and she sat there, legs akimbo, wanking herself with her tail.
Yep, and then
Fucking awful.
And then she goes and eats some tap dancing cockroaches.
Awful. I
It's like a
hated
fever
this
dream.
film.
Have you
Hated this film.
Yeah, I mean I hated it too, and also so did Pain.
Have you seen Cats the Musical? No, I haven't. Think I would hate that as well, based on this film.
See, I've seen Cats the Musical before, and I actually quite like Cats the Musical. It's very well put together. This, despite it being, still an Andrew Lloyd Webber joint in terms of music, it's bloody awful. I don't know why he did this.
Do you know what the thing is? And this is going to be my only two compliments of the film.
Mm.
Some of the characters, big emphasis on the some, they've got people who can sing.
Would you like to name some examples?
I don't know any of their fucking names. My eyes glazed over watching this CGI fuckfest. It's awful, Tim.
Do you know the name of the singers?
One of them was Taylor Swift. I know that she was in it.
Yep.
The other one was the cat who was, I can't remember the name of it. Is it Genial that they were trying to become?
Jellicle.
Cat? Jellicle. I just thought it sounded like genitals.
I do wish I'd stopped saying Jellicle every 2 seconds.
The one who eventually became the genital cat.
That was Daniela Norman, I want to say, but she was in the original Cats. I think I could be wrong about that.
Well, yeah, that was it. That was good, and then the background on some of them was good.
Yeah,
the background in some of the scenes was impressive.
Did you not think? What's his name? Skimble Scrap. Yeah, Skimble Scrap, the railway cat, which is a name I would make up. Did you not think that him tap dancing at McCafferty, played by a very naked Idris Elba, was very funny?
Funny for all of the wrong reasons. Like, awful.
I've never seen anyone aggressively tap dance.
I did like the bit. There was a bit where Ian McKellen's character.
God, he was awful in it as well.
And Tim, everyone, bar maybe two people, were awful in this.
Mm.
Ian McKellen's character was kidnapped by the magician, I think Mr. Mistopheles.
McCafferty.
McCafferty. Stupid names.
Played by Idris Elba.
Yeah, kidnapped by McCafferty. And then when it did this sound effect and they disappeared into a hat and went, McCafferty!
Yeah, no, they'd never do that before. They'd never do it after. When we kidnap someone.
Oh,
it's a
Tim.
really...
So the story is there are a bunch of semi-human, semi-cat things that want to sing and become the genital cat, which means that the one who's in charge says they're, I don't know, better than the others.
They get to be reborn into a new life, but as a different cat.
Oh, cool, great.
All that seems to happen. In the original musical, old Deuteronomy, who in this is played by Judi Dench.
Tim, why was Judi Dench a brick shithouse?
She was fucking huge, and she looked like the Cowardly Lion.
Massive.
But in the original, the whole thing with being the Jellicle cat is that you're picked to be the Jellicle cat based on if you're worthy or if you've had a rough life and need a fresh start, like starting over day.
Mm-hmm.
In this, it's if you sing the best song about yourself, which is complete fucking nonsense. So
it was Jennifer Hudson, the one who I thought had a very good voice.
Sorry, yes. So what ends up happening at the end of the movie, because what happens, I should really emphasize, at the start of this movie, there's this cat called Victoria, and the plot just kind of happens at her, to be honest. So she's like thrown out of a moving car in a bag, and all these other cats start singing at her, and then Idris Elba comes along and says, You're fit for a cat." Um, and then then at some point James Corden is there, who's a walking fat joke, and Rebel Wilson is also a walking fat and masturbation joke, while she eats some tap dancing cockroaches. Then Robbie Fairchild and someone else um, are being cat burglars, and they're never really referenced again outside of throwing catnip at people at the end of the movie. And then they go to the big cat jellicle ball where Judi Dench puts a cat in a hot air balloon made of a chandelier and a hot air balloon and sends them up to the sky, presumably to freeze to death. So it's, it's a fucking nonsense movie. Like nothing is important in this movie.
Tim, this whole thing was a nonsense. This whole thing was so painful. I obviously saw all the stuff beforehand that was like, this film is awful. It looks awful, and I thought that it was going to be exaggerated because it looks so shit. But I cannot fathom. You know, when you start a movie,
Yeah.
and it feels like days.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up how long the film is now.
An hour and 40 minutes.
Is that it?
That's it. It is not a long movie.
I felt like I had a week off and watched this non-stop. It really was difficult.
I watched this in cinema.
Were you the only one in the room?
My friend, so I went to the cinema with two friends to go and see this because we all love awful cinema, and we were the only ones there.
The problem is with this, and I understand loving awful cinema. I think awful cinema is its own genre. Great, fantastic. But awful cinema is good when it's unknowingly awful. It's like they didn't try.
No.
The cats, what they look like to me is very primitive AI software.
Well, if for the audience, if somehow you haven't seen this and you want to see some nightmare fuel, look up some of the screenshots of the cats for a start. But do you know what the budget for this movie was?
Was it $75 million?
You want to add an extra 25% to that. Sorry, you want to add an extra 25 million.
Do you want me to cut that so you don't sound...
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. No, but budget was 100 million. And I feel like most of that had to go to
Taylor Swift, I would imagine.
Taylor Swift, if we're being honest.
The thing is, I think that what they did with this film was when we have no idea how to do a musical. We have no idea how to do CGI. We got a lot of celebrities who we can get on it. That'll do.
They do know how to do a musical because it's Andrew Lloyd Webber who wrote the original Cats.
No, I understand, and I get that, but the filmmakers...
Oh, the filmmakers don't. They have
obviously
no idea.
Don't. There's an original song in here as well.
There is.
What the fuck is that about?
Don't know. Really weird. Out of nowhere, and it just kind of comes and goes. And did you notice that for the first hour of the movie, it was just introducing characters?
Because there's so many of them.
But none of them are related to the plot. The only ones that are McCafferty, Victoria, who's, I'm going to use in massive air quotes here, the main character, because the only thing that makes a plot relevant is that she was thrown out of a window. There's Judi Dench, who plays Old Deuteronomy, and then there is the cat that gets set up in a balloon. Everyone else could be ignored.
Yeah. I don't know. This is literally the definition of seeing how much shit you can throw at a wall and see if it sticks.
Not much in this case.
I think Jennifer Hudson was like, apart from the CGI, was good.
Yeah.
I give full credit to Jennifer Hudson. I think that as much as I'm not mad on her music or personality-wise, I think Taylor Swift was okay.
Sure.
I don't think anyone else in this film put in a good performance, even if it was their face warped onto nightmare fuel.
Do you know what else is really funny is they had to do a re-release of this because there's a scene towards the end of the movie where they're stood in what's the place where the Napoleon statue is in London? Trafalgar Square, thank you. They're stood on like the lions there, because they're cats. Wow, great connection. But you can see Judi Dench's human hand and colossal wedding ring. And there was a version of the thing as well where some of the cats had arseholes and they had to like had to re-release it without the arsehole.
You know what? I think them having assholes would make this more watchable because
It
you'd
really
keep an
would.
eye out who's got a cat arsehole.
Yeah. Oh, although the other thing I will give credit for as well, the tap dancing rail cat Skimble Scrap. His tap dancing was actually like the guy who played him is a tap dancer. It's actually very good tap dancing.
The tap
That's it.
dancing cat Skimble Scrap can tap dance.
Yeah.
That does not go against my positive list of this film, of which there was 2 things. Do you know what you can say about this film, Tim?
What's that?
They tried something different.
They
They
did.
tried something
Failed.
different. They tried it whilst standing in the middle of a motorway blindfolded.
Yeah.
And the inevitable happened. They got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Because it was awful. I will not forget having watched this film, even if I wish I could.
So, just going back to our little cinema story, this was just when COVID started kicking off for about 2 years. That was the last film I'd seen in cinemas.
What's the last film you've seen in cinemas now?
Boy and the Heron.
Was it good?
It's pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Tim, as
What
I
are we
said
watching next
before,
week?
you know, we're watching David Brent Life on the Road.
All right, great. What would you give this out of 10?
Can I give less than 0?
I gave it a 2.
I think that's incredibly generous.
I think so too.
I would give it, for as many times as I smiled and or laughed in this film, I would give it a 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unwatchable.
Absolutely unwatchable. You know when
Audience.
E.T. and Atari was buried in landfill?
Yeah.
That's what should happen here.
Audience, please watch it. It'd be really funny.
If you've watched this film, please tell us in the Discord, because I want you to feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you'll get through it. You will
It's a
be
support
okay.
group.
This is a support group. This film was dreadful, Tim. and I'm a little bit resentful that I'm giving you films that I'm enjoying. Is this what Slade feels like on the mainline episodes?
Maybe.
I'm giving you good stuff and you're coming back with Five Nights at Freddy's. Is this how Slade feels?
Maybe.
Right.
I gave it a 2 out of 10. 1, because it met the requirements of being a movie, and 2, the tap dancing cat.
And 2, because it ended.
It did end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna write David Brent, Life on the Road movie. Oh, got that written down for next week.
Good. I think it's on Netflix. If not, rent it from
Yeah.
Blockbuster.
What year is it?
Tim. Oh, hold on. Can you hear the door?
Oh, is there someone at the door?
Yeah, you better go and answer that. Tim.
Hang on, I'll go get it. Give me a sec.
I hope it's not
It better
Dom.
not-
You might miss him.
I keep missing him. All right, back in a sec.
My name's Dominic Littlewood. 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 I'm on the case.
Hi, Dom. How long have you entered rooms singing the Pink Panther?
I've been here for 4 hours.
How are you, Dom? How's your week been?
I've got a sore throat. I've been my throat's feeling a little raspy from determining if things are real or fake.
I notice how you haven't gone high in pitch like you used to when you say real or fake. But
Let me clear my throat. Is it real or is it fake? There we go.
Thanks. Thanks, Dom. Fucking hell. Thanks, Dom. It's lovely to have you back. I've got a question for you about whether something's real or fake. Are you feeling okay, well enough to help me with that?
I'm so ready.
Okay. Dom, I need you to tell me whether Judy Dench kitty cat arsehole is real or fake.
This is an interesting scenario because if you look at the 2019 cut of the movie, you'll see it was real, but now it's fake.
So which is it? Little, which is it
It's in
real
the
or fake?
liminal space between.
So Judy Dench's kitty cat arsehole it's between real and fake.
It's Schrodinger's cat's arsehole.
Thank you, Dom. Dom, I did also want to ask you. Last week we found out that your chest is a washing machine. What spin cycle is it usually on?
Eco 1000.
Great. Oh, okay. I know you're a busy man, Dom. So I'll let you get going. But thank you for stopping by.
I'm off to do another pile of laundry. I'm away.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, package at the door.
Package at
new-
the door.
new
Oh.
Keyboard arrived.
Oh, cool. That's nice. I'm afraid you did miss Dom.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. You do. You're like ships in the night, you two.
Yeah, we just can't seem to meet.
Can't
Maybe-
seem to meet.
What? How many episodes are we into the season now? 4, 5?
5, I think.
Okay, I'm hoping to catch him in the next 5 weeks.
Maybe. We'll see.
I hope he
bank,
can make time.
I wouldn't bank on it.
No, you reckon? Is he a busy man?
Busy man.
Yeah.
He's a busy man and an even busier washing machine.
Ugh.
So, while we're laughing and joking, let's move on to jokes.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
Okay, so this is the joke of the week section where Tim and I tell each other jokes. I'm all giggly after Dom Littlewood's left, so you might be on for an easy win here, Tim. The rules of the game are we tell each other one-liners. The other one has to try not to laugh, but if you break the other person and they laugh, then that joke becomes joke of the week. And the section is finished. Tim, how are you feeling about this week?
I'm feeling good. I think I got some good ones here.
How many have you got?
I have 9. What about you?
I have 8, so you can go first.
Brilliant. All right, nice and easy one to start. What did 0 say to the 8?
What did 0 say to the 8?
Nice belt.
Good.
Yeah.
It's a good play on what an 8 looks like.
That is true. Good comparison joke.
Cool. I've gone a slightly different direction here, Tim. What was David Bowie's last hit?
What?
Probably heroin.
Brilliant. I thought it was going to be another kicked bucket.
Well,
We'll see.
never say,
Joke
never
number
say,
8.
never say never.
What starts round and say I'll start that again. What's round on the ends and high in the middle?
Go on.
Ohio.
Ah, that's good. Did you hear about the blind prostitute?
No.
Well, you got to give it to her.
Very good. That's very good. My 4-year-old son has been learning Spanish for a few months now, but all he can say is the word please. That's poor for 4, isn't it?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that one. I've heard it before, but it's a very good one.
Yeah.
How did the leper hockey game end?
Oh, I know this one. Go on.
There was a face-off in the corner.
There it is. Yep. I just
We've gone very different routes with these jokes.
We have. I just got a pirated copy of that Bohemian Rhapsody movie. Must have been recorded in the cinema because every few minutes I see a little silhouette of a man.
Scaramouche.
Scaramouche.
Very good. Can you do the Fandango?
Thunderbolt lightning. Very, very frightening.
It's not really an answer to my question.
No, it's not. It's a non-plus at that point.
Tim, why did Stephen Hawking do one-liners?
Why?
Because he couldn't stand up.
I was going to be like he couldn't type that fast or something.
No.
A magician's walking down the street and turns into a drugstore.
Say that again?
A magician is walking down the street and turns into a drugstore.
Okay, cool. Got you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I blinked and I felt that meant I didn't hear what you said.
We've used up resources.
Yeah. Did you hear about the guy who died of a Viagra overdose?
No.
They couldn't close his casket.
He's a stiff.
He was a stiff.
Yeah. I was born in 1992, and this show I'm only going to celebrate my birthday for half a minute, my 32nd birthday.
Good and applicable to you as well.
Applicable to me.
Very good. What 30 seconds are you going to choose?
I'm feeling immediately after 1 a.m.
Okay, cool. And after that, it's not your birthday anymore.
No, it's not my birthday anymore.
I'll remember that. Okay.
Cool. That is grim. That nearly got a laugh out of me, but that's grim.
Do I need to bleep that?
No, that's fine.
I might bleep it.
What kind of birds stick together?
I don't know. What kind of birds stick together?
Velcros.
We really have gone down very different routes.
We have.
What do pimps and farmers need to have in common?
Something about hose, isn't it?
Yeah, they both need hose to stay in business.
There it is, yep. What's the difference between a joiner and a carpenter?
I don't know.
One works with wood, the other paints cars.
Car paint. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. What was the last thing my sister said to me before she kicked the bucket? Brother, let me show you how far I can kick this bucket.
Fucking cheat code.
That's the end of the joke section.
That's the joke. That's the joke of the week, as it was last week and the week before and the week before. That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
So that was the joke of the week. It was, want to hear the last thing my sister said before she kicked the bucket? Brother, let me show you how far I can kick this bucket.
I have one more joke, and I can't remember if I've told it on the podcast or not, but I found it very funny.
Okay.
What's the difference between a kangaroo and a kangaroo?
T.
One's an Australian animal, the other one's a Geordie stuck in a lift.
that would have won. That was
good.
That was good.
Kangaroo?
A kangaroo man. Very, very, very good.
Good.
All right, Tim. You've got a couple of things on the running order, some video game stuff. So let's fire through that really quickly.
Yeah, let's quickly fire through because there's been a lot of video game news this week.
Okay.
I've written that it's just a great time to be a fighting game fan, as everyone knows. I sometimes play fighting games.
Tim, you play fighting game? What?
I know, it's a really little fact about me.
It's very niche of you.
Very niche. So, within the last week and within the next week, we have had Slayer in Guilty Gear, Akuma in Street Fighter. We've got Lydia coming back to Tekken, and we have Homelander from the boys going into Mortal Kombat. That's a really, really good set of updates for fighting games.
That is pretty cool.
Pretty cool. But the thing that I really like about the Akuma update, they've got this event on called Giant Battle, and people can play against a CPU Akuma, like a computer player Akuma, but the computer player is controlled by Twitch.
What?
So Twitch, on Capcom's Twitch, you can go on their Twitch account. I imagine it's probably down by the time this episode comes up, but users in chat can basically just spam commands, like with Twitch plays Pokemon, and players in Street Fighter have to fight Twitch playing Akuma.
That is mental.
That's wild. That's a really cool idea.
It's pretty cool, to be fair.
Yeah. And then the other thing that happened last night, was it? The state of play?
Last night. Can we talk about last night, the state of play?
Let's talk about last night.
What did you think of it?
There was some stuff that it was definitely better than the last state of play. The last state of play was a big old snooze fest.
Okay.
But this one had some stuff that I'm actually pretty excited about. So obviously Silent Hill 2, Monster Hunter Wilds got a gameplay trailer, which...
So last state of play, we spoke about Silent Hill 2, and we said it would be another year before it comes to PC. And it isn't. Steam releases it in October, the same as on PlayStation.
Yeah, which
That's
very
great.
much surprised me. More of that.
I'm not going to pay £60 for it, though.
No, we'll go straight to CD keys.
Well, CD keys had Resident Evil 4 for like a third of the price after a week, so
yeah,
we'll do that.
I think Monster Hunter Wilds got me the most excited, as people listening to this may know I'm a big old Monster Hunter fan.
Mhm.
But there's God of War coming to PC, which looks exciting. From the trailer they showed off, it actually looks like they're really putting a lot of time into the PC port.
Well,
Which is
I
great.
played. Have you done the first God of War?
I've not played
PlayStation?
anything in the
Okay.
reboot.
I bought it when I had your PlayStation, so you have the copy, right?
Yes,
You should play it. It's very good. It's
I've
really,
heard
really
it's good.
I
What else? We've
think
got
I
Path of
also have it.
Exile. Oh, you good?
Keep talking.
Oh, okay. We've got Path of Exile coming to PlayStation 5, and it looks like a new Path of Exile. It looks really bloody good. And then the other thing that got me very excited was a new Astro game. Now,
Right.
you wouldn't have played Astro because you've not been on a PS5, right?
No.
Astro's Playroom was like effectively a PS5 demo that came out to show you everything the PS5 could do, as well as
Mhm.
like all the features of the controller, like the haptic triggers and the haptic vibrations, that sort of thing. Really bloody fun. Really, really fun. And I'm actually really excited to see what they do with the new one.
Nice. I didn't think much of this state of play, Tim. Honestly, I thought that I think that God of War coming on PC was great, but we all knew it was going to happen. Like
Mhm.
Silent Hill 2, I think that was great news that it's coming to PC the same time as PS5. We all knew it was going to come eventually, so it's a remake of a game that I'm excited to play, but don't really think, oh, I'm going to go out there and get really excited about. Monster Hunter Wilds, I missed, so I haven't seen that. It might look really good. They're kind of the games I think I would really like, but have never properly gotten into one. Then I saw Alien, and I thought, I saw Alien. Slade really handily put it in the Discord before I saw it announced. Tim, that game looks like one of the worst things I've ever seen.
It does look pretty awful.
How like Alien is a wicked franchise as films. Alien Isolation nailed the blueprint for an Alien game. How do they get so much wrong with such a good franchise?
Well, Alien Isolation was brilliant because for the first like 2 to 3 hours of the game, there is the alien's not there. It's not loaded in, but then afterwards you'll start hearing noises and maybe seeing something move. And for the rest of the game, it's stalking you in like,
Yeah.
and not like in a it's a planned scripted scene. Like, yeah, there's planned scripted scenes here and there, but genuinely the thing is stalking you throughout the ship.
Yeah.
And you have to be aware. Like, and they've never been able to really replicate that, I think.
But they have all the blueprints to do it. It feels like
do.
they haven't even tried.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just looks dreadful. I was really disappointed,
Do
actually.
you remember when Aliens Colonial Marines came out?
I remember the backlash of it.
Do you remember hearing about the fan mod for it?
No.
So, there was a fan of the Alien franchise who was like, "I know there is a good game in here somewhere." So he started looking at like the source code of the game
Mhm.
to do a little bit of digging, and he found that one of the developers had misspelled the word tether at one point on one line of code, and he corrected the spelling, and it fixed the AI completely.
What?
One line of code, changed the word tether to the correct spelling of tether, like completely working game.
Oh my god.
Hmm.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
poor.
The other thing that I really like as well, and it's one of my favorite modding stories because of how shit Capcom were at this. I like Capcom stuff. I like Street Fighter. I like Mega Man. I like the Marvel vs. series. I like Street Fighter and Monster Hunter. I think I've already said them. So, Street Fighter 5 was around for a very long time and had famously pretty bad rollback netcode. But this fan in Hawaii basically spent like 3 days in his shed, like reverse engineering and then developing the netcode. And he released it as a mod for the PC. And players who had the same mod got fantastic rollback netcode, like really great connections off of it. But then players who didn't have the mod or were playing on PlayStation, they had not great connection. So effectively, they had higher highs on the connection and lower lows.
Mhm.
Capcom then put out a big old press thing being like, we're going to make an announcement about the rollback netcode on this time next week. Please stay tuned for it. And everyone's like, oh my God, oh my god, they're gonna fix the netcode. They're gonna use this guy's mod. We're gonna see some changes. All they did was put out a mod. All they did was put out an update that made the netcode mod incompatible, and then just left it.
So they went, "This is fixed. Let's get rid of it."
Let's break it again.
Wow, I love it. It's probably because they would have to give that guy some kind of credit or money, right?
Japanese developers are famously resistant to using technology from outside of Japan to actually work on their
Oh,
shit.
really?
Yeah, you'll see it a lot. It's why there's a lot of like differences between like Western developed games and Japanese developed games.
That is mental.
Yeah, I'll try and find it. Someone remind me to find the Tether story with alien colonial
But
marines.
I love that they've put out an announcement saying, "Just hold on, we've got some updates to make it worse."
Yeah, I don't know why they announced it.
That's
It's really funny.
That is funny.
I found a couple of news articles for we start
Okay.
recording. I'd like you to pick a number, 1 or 2.
Well, I can see both of them, Tim. So
Yep. This
let's
is
go
more for the audience.
Well, audience, pick a number. Tim, they said 1.
They said 1. Okay. The UK is running out of ghosts. As old spirits are dying off, paranormal expert says. Josh, forget about it. Scar sent us this article in the Discord the other day. So if you want to see your mad shit articles on the podcast, just send it us, dummy. Like, how else are we going to see them? So, just according to this paranormal expert, ghosts are running out in the UK. But of course, it's from the Daily Star, so not great. Considering I've scrolled down, and one of their 2 related articles is 2 reasons Elon Musk could actually be an alien after a Martian admission, according to AI.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is really funny. This is just some person who is and I use big air quotes here, paranormal expert, saying that the UK's ghosts are dying off. What my favourite thing about this article is the comments below, and I don't know if you've seen them.
I haven't.
Let me read this for you. Top one is, lol, highly recommended she talk to a person who actually sees earthbound spirits. There are still plenty of ghosts.
Like, okay. All right.
Cool. Thanks, Torbo. 2 days ago, that was useful. And then cute boy here for yo says spirits will always be around us. And then finally, Veridon says, lol, no. The advent of smartphones has killed them.
What?
I don't
What does
know.
that? What's the? Okay, I don't understand that connection. Like, are they arguing like a 5G thing or
I don't know.
5 ghosts?
I mean, people who actively comment on the Daily Star's website, Tim, do I need to say any more?
No. Did I ever tell you about the time I did a paranormal documentary thing?
You have, but I don't know if you said it on the pod.
Ah, right, yeah. So when I was at university, we were one of our modules was to make a documentary, and we were put in our groups. And the producer of who the person who was assigned to be the producer was like, yeah, I know someone who's down at the local newspaper. They say their building's haunted. I was like, all right, great. We'll go and film in there. So we got their permission, and we hired. It must have been 10, 20 grand's worth of equipment, which for a student film is a lot. And we sat in the loft of this newspaper press for about 18 hours, basically in silence, because we didn't want to disturb the microphone. So we all sat in different corners while I monitored a very much not moving decibel meter and a night vision camera. And then we came back the next night with GoPros and some paranormal investigation ghost hunters. And they were like, oh, this room's haunted. Definitely. We can see the spirits in here. We were like, that's weird. The newspaper printing press guys told us it was that room over there.
Oh my god.
And then we turned it into a documentary and got a 2-1 for it.
Tim, you sitting in a corner for 18 hours watching a decibel meter and a night vision camera. I missed the opportunity to say it, but I was going to say, is this where your cuck fascination kicks in?
This is, it's any wonder I went to audio engineering. It's all rooted in something.
Tim, the other article.
Yes, it's just called Roof Ninja. Woman found living inside shop sign says it was an old safe spot.
Okay.
So, surprisingly, not a Florida story for a start.
What?
Yeah, it's a Michigan story, which is like Florida 2 or Florida Light.
Okay.
So
Do we know anyone from Michigan?
I know at least one person from Michigan. I don't know if I might know some more. I definitely know at least one. So for our American listeners, they'll know the shop. Is it Family Fair? Family Care? I didn't actually read the article. I just read the headline, to be honest. But this woman has been living in this Family Fair supermarket sign, unbeknownst to anyone, for how long? Does it say how long she's been there? She'd been living there for over a year, apparently. And police even found when they cleared her out of the thing, a coffee maker, a computer, bedding, a phone, and even a printer. So
Printer.
she had a printer and was doing something on the internet, I guess.
You're there for a year. You got to use your time nicely.
I mean, no one else is taking that spot. Why would you think to be there?
What part of Michigan was it in?
Let me
Did
find
she
out.
chop, chow down,
No,
to town?
we're not doing that one, especially not with the accent.
No, I wouldn't do the accent, but I do want to be ninja.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
If that was the
Michigan.
only reason I asked you, I don't really care where it was in Michigan.
Oh, okay. It also just says Michigan, so like there's only one Family Fair supermarket there. I'm sure there's more.
It's not a very big place, Michigan.
No, it's got Detroit though.
Famously, not very big.
No,
But
but those are the
Tim,
2 news articles I had.
good news articles. Well done.
Thank you. I do have a
Um,
Gaetano.
Yes, let's do that, and then let's do your pub quiz question and get the fudge out of here.
Cool. I'm just sending you the Discord message now.
Ooh.
There you go.
Okay, you ready?
Ready.
So this is Mike Young 2 years ago. I ordered a plain cheesesteak and large Mr. G. Tonight, and why is there a full... Oh, okay, because it's a name. I ordered a large plain cheesesteak and a large Mr. G tonight, and I'm extremely disappointed when I got them home. These sandwiches were extremely light on the meat, which is bad considering the cost. But the meat was pretty dry. My kids struggled to eat them. We usually have a good experience at this location, but after tonight's experience, I'm done. Responding, do you want me to wait for the response? Because this is a response to the response.
Yeah, it probably should.
Okay.
Probably could be worth.
So after this is, but after tonight's experience, I am done.
So Gaetano responds. This could have been solved pretty easily with a 2-minute phone call, especially considering the fact that you stated that you had a good experiences before. So obviously we do things right. Where was the 4 or 5 star review for all the previously good experiences, Michael? One possibly subpar experience, and you're off to the 1 star to complain rather than call up and have your problem addressed and fixed. Seems like the smart way to handle things. We see quite a bit of struggle in your kid's future with you running the show.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
Mike did actually get back with quite a sad response. Said, responding to your response, you're right. I've never left a review for a good experience, but that's what you should expect from a business. Like you don't know how, like how you don't comment when you receive a good review. As a business, I wish you best of luck, but do not attack someone and their family.
That last bit sounds like a threat.
Very sinister.
He's got a particular set of skills.
Don't mess with Mike Young, even if he does eat dry meat.
Yeah.
Feeds his family dry meat. Fuck you, Mike Young.
Fuck you, Mike Young. Call up and fix it. It's fine.
Tim.
Yeah.
What was Mackenzie Crook's character's name in the UK office?
Mackenzie Crook's name. Oh my god, why did my page?
Oh, I know it.
Go on.
Gareth.
Gareth.
I don't know the surname.
I need the full name.
Oh. Gareth Jones.
Not Jones. It's Gareth Keenan.
Keenan. Very good. Very good. Tim, any shout outs before we go?
Yeah, let me get our Discord user of the week. Discord user of the week is gonna be Danghuck.
Nice. Good.
Good.
Well, congratulations. You win nothing.
You win a little mention on this little podcast. Wowee.
The 4 people that listen to it will be buzzing to hear your name. So the my shout outs are for the usual, the Podpack Collective people.
Yep.
We had Dan's lovely advert at the start, but also Just Football, who aren't part of the Podpack Collective, but are part of the lovely Dan. The other one from not in the Podpack Collective I'd like to shout out is Talking Smack. Always listen to Josh. Josh is a gentleman and a scholar.
He's a scholar.
He's a scholar. He's a scholar.
He's a scholar.
I'd also like to shout out whoever's terrible idea it was to take cats to the big screen, because you owe me 2 hours of my life back.
You know what we haven't done for a while? You know how we kind of gave Josh the forget about it lore?
Yeah.
We haven't given anyone else lore in a while, so I'd like to start doing that.
Do you want to give someone a backstory?
Yeah.
Right, well, hold on, because I'm going to choose someone else in the Discord, and
Okay.
we're just going to give whoever it is a backstory.
All right.
Geordie Bell.
For those who don't know, that's my girlfriend.
Come on, Tim, backstory her.
She moved from Newcastle to the south and met me.
Where she became a witch and kidnapped children.
Sure.
So that's Geordie Bell. Do you regret this bit now, Tim?
A little bit now, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'd love to know, has Payne listened and reacted to your dream holiday?
Yeah, she was right on your side, actually, with the why can't I eat?
Yeah, I mean, why couldn't she, Tim? That's very
She could
controlling.
eat, she's capable of making her own decisions.
But it's your dream holiday, so you're making all the... You ruined it, Tim. You made Payne go hungry and then go and look at an intersection. That's what I remember from your holiday. Tim, anything you want to say to the audience?
Take that, you bastards.
Take that, you bastards. We will see you in 1 week's time.
Week. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Tim.
Oh, shit. I don't have a pub quiz question ready.
Every single week I say, Tim, are you ready? And you say, yep, I'm ready.
Hang
then,
on.
are you ready? Are you?
Pub
bollocks?
quiz question. Pick a random one. Got it. Jingle goes here. Is it playing? I can't tell.
Oh, I'm not doing them. I'm just sticking them in later.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
See you in the post-amble.
See you in the post-amble.